so it ended. A tale that began with my own ill-fated attempt to rid the world of the Godwoken.
So many portraits.
When the dust settled, no new divine had risen.
Music is so
Instead,
nice.
all source was released into the world for all the people and every creature to share. Everyone was now a sorcerer. And united, the peoples of Rivellon pushed back the God King into the very depths of the void. This
Hey,
should
awesome.
be a new golden age of peace and prosperity. But alas, it was not to last. With many greedy for wealth, power and position, the struggle soon began anew.
The lizards.
Source, the very language of creation, was used in violence once more. The never-ending contest for power continued. As for me, my last hope of ever being freed of the God King's terrible tyranny faded when the Godwoken failed to seal the veil. An eternity of pain and suffering is mine, in service of the King, until the day I am freed, the day the God King returns.
Oh well. No happy ending for Wendigo. But I mean, she makes it really hard to forgive her. And we did that in the first Let's Play. The Lady Vengeance is such a nice ship. Oh, let's have a talk with everyone. And then see the last part of the epilogue. I'm sad the journey's ending. It is such an amazing game. And I was so much looking forward to the sequel, Fallen Heroes. Fallen Heroes, Lost Heroes, something like that. Which was cancelled.
Malady stands tall and proud, sunlight sparkling off her mask. From here she looks almost angelic.
And probably she is not too happy with the whole thing.
Well, here we are again. You, me, and the ship I've saved from ruin for your personal benefit. I'd say you owe me, but why state the obvious? Get an eyeful. I expect it's the last we'll see of each other for some time.
Oh. And I mean, also, little fun fact, giving the existence of the trailers of, I think it was called Fallen Heroes, the sequel. It seems like sharing Divinity is actually the canon ending. Cause no one is divine or anything. Oh hey, Wondernaught, nice to see you again. Yeah, originally I wasn't such a fan of ships in this game, but then my liking for them came back with a vengeance. I think it's just, a talking ship is such a cool concept. And I mean the design, I really like the dragon head.
I have a lot of planning to do. Now that there's not to be a new divinity.
She drums her fingers testily on her crossed arms.
All that work, all that effort tossed into the gutter like a malformed child.
Oh boy. Yeah, Melody. And the sequel actually seemed to explore what Melody needs help with. Cause even if you go for Divinity, she's just very mysterious about it and says like, celebrate your victory, I will come back to you. So let's see if we're ever going to find out what was intended for her to happen. The Lady Vengeance looks as good as new. How did you manage to repair it?
The same way I do everything, of course. Demonic guile.
The best kind of guile. You know, the world is better off without an almighty tyrant. We had Lucian.
You say that now. Let's see how you feel when you realize the true implication of a world filled with sorcerers. Never mind. I'll find another way. I always do.
She fingers the mask covering her face. For a moment it seems as though she's about to remove it, but instead she places a hand on your shoulder.
We've come a long way together. I did my best by you all the way. Sacrificed much.
That she did.
And I'd have given even more to see you fulfill your destiny.
She looks you up and down.
I guess this will have to do.
Thanks.
Take a moment, why don't you? Relax. Enjoy. I certainly plan to do the same.
So, where do you plan to go?
Oh, I don't know. Around and about. Treat myself to some mead, a lover or 300. I'd say we've earned it.
A level of 300. Ambitious melody? Enjoy? I don't know, I'm not so sure she always uses demonic guile. Sometimes she casts epic teleport or plane shift. True. Maybe her source of magic is demonic guile.
Perhaps our paths will cross again. Perhaps not.
I want my sequel. What I would give for a sequel to Dust 2.
Until we find out.
I bet she plans to head back to the Demon Realms and specifically the level populated by succubi. Probably. Enjoying herself a little bit. I really don't know too much about how hells are organized in Rivellon. But yeah.
Well, well, look what the cat dragged in. A godwoken. But what good is it to be godwoken when Source is now a free-for-all, and there is no divinity to be had?
You know, Red Prince, if you hadn't promised your life to the God King, you would still be alive, and also Sorcerer.
Complaining will get me nowhere, however. Not in this state.
I mean, at least his spirit seems to be not claimed by the God King, right? I also like this track. It is so... I don't know. A little bit hopeful, very melancholic. You know, Red Prince, I don't know, but it sure beats being dead. I like that. Hey Elmira, I never played a game with you in my retinue, so what do you think? And where's her lover? Curious. I don't see him. Well.
A world full of sorcerers. That's quite a thing. But don't worry, darling. You're still special to me.
So, what is next to you?
Who knows? A nice cottage someplace quiet from Mahalia and I. A roaring fire and a feather bed. Maybe. Maybe.
Aww. That's cute. They actually really seem to be in love.
But a girl needs some fun, doesn't she?
Does she? You know, I hope you reformed your ways after winning back your freedom.
Reform my ways? How adorable. No, I'm afraid I cannot escape who I am and what I've done.
Her eyes flick down to your mouth. She smiles coyly, then slinks forward to kiss you.
Excuse me. And Lavender resists her advances.
Almira pouts in disappointment, but it quickly morphs into a devilish grin.
Oh, no matter. We'll always have our first kiss. I haven't been quite able to put it out of my mind. Just as I'm sure you won't be able to put me out of your mind.
Well, as long as I'm just in your mind and not... well... in other things, we're good. Succubi gonna succubi. Suck to goodbye.
Hey there, Chief. So, a world full of sorcerers. What do you make of it?
Well, you know, it ought to even out the playing fields quite considerably.
I suppose that's a death sentence for Fort Joy. What a terrible shame.
Oh no.
Though I guess it wasn't all bad. I met you after all. And look at everything we've done.
So, how does it feel to be free, like, once and for all, of all that haunted you?
I don't know if anyone's free of anything, once and for all.
But I'm bloody thrilled to be here now. Just me, myself, and you, of course.
So, what are you going to do now?
Get loot, play loot, get glad.
Get late.
So, Chief, I guess this is it, right?
Which is so sad. I'm really missing... Ah, there's a phoenix hatchling. Don't get distracted, Ethan. I gotta say, it's sad that you can't, like, accompany someone, or... I don't know, it would be so nice to, like, take Ifan along and travel with Lohse, play music, slay demons. This is what I'm going to put as my headcanon. And if you want also your headcanon for this playthrough, of course. We don't have to split up. I guess so. But I won't forget you. Not ever. Which sounds like we're never going to see each other again. Like, why?
You say that now, but who knows what adventures and redheads life will throw at you. Whatever it is, you'll ace it.
It doesn't have to be goodbye.
As she turns from you, the whites of her eyes darken, the veins in her face go grey, and a wicked smile curls her mouth.
You better be free, Lohse, after all the work we did to free you. True.
Suddenly it's gone again. She winks, and you're left wondering whether you saw anything at all.
We saw that also in Adremelic's home.
See you around.
Let's just keep traveling with Lohse and Ifan. So, do you have a favorite character, Wanderlord?
Source of all, eh? A bold move, I'll grant you that. I didn't think anyone considered the little people anymore.
We could trade. We could give him all our loot and everything. Let's not do that. So, what do you think of this new world that you helped usher into existence? You know what I just noticed? Do you know a sword called Anathema? Did we use that in the final battle? Did we use that against Brachus Rex? Well, we aced it anyway.
I don't know yet. Perhaps peace will reign and all will be equal. Or perhaps you've bestowed great power on undeserving children and turned them loose on each other. Time will tell, I'm sure.
So, what are you going to do now?
That is the question, isn't it? How does one top the greatest feat of necromancy ever conceived? I might have the answer to that. Tell me, have you ever heard of Gustafsson?
No.
No, of course you wouldn't. It's a written language, unreadable to most, but myself naturally. It comes from a mysterious race from another world. Beings that feed on minds.
That sounds like a charming place.
I intend to seek them out. This Gustafsson seems to guard portals to their realm. And once I've uncovered one, well, why settle for being the greatest mind in just one world, when there's another for the taking?
Quite the adventurer. I've only played with Red, Ifan, Sebille, Lohse really, not much experience with the others. Also, I did not realize you could turn Ifan gay. They actually... romance is just completely not unrestricted by gender in the game, so they're all player sexual, bi, however you want to call it. Probably should have guessed that since he's a wolf. What? So, who did you romance then? Sebille or Lohse? Sebille, Lohse, Ifan. I took Ifan, Sebille, and Fane. All nice characters. If I had to pick like my favorite, let's say 3, because you can take along 3 companions, it would be Ifan, Lohse, and Sebille actually. I really enjoyed Sebille in this playthrough, first time having her along, and really cool character. Like, Beast is kind of cool, but also seems to be the one lacking a little, if I'm honest. I almost overlooked him. Hi, Beast. Talking about lacking. Fane is cool. But yeah. I did not romance anyone. Seemed like a waste of time to me. well, I guess whatever floats your boat. Whatever flies your boat.
I've got to admit, I'm all about returning the power to the people, but I never could have seen this one coming.
So, do you have any more stories? You know, one for the road, or, well, sea?
He eyes you slyly, but consents to one final tale.
I romance Sebille, obviously. I mean, apparently she also romanced me, without my consent.
The beast of the sea rose triumphant, guiding his fellow Godwoken from an island prison to a final hurrah. He boarded the Lady Vengeance, now inexplicably whole due to magic a beast could never understand, and returned to his homeland.
I wonder what's going to become of the Lady Vengeance, right? Is it just our ship? Or is she doing something?
Then began the process of rebuilding, restoring trust, handing out hope, serving his people.
Hopefully making them a little bit more peaceful.
Huh. Guess that one doesn't really end with a bang. But that's alright. You know, it's a work in progress.
Right. It's also funny how I scheduled the stream and was like, 2 to 3 hours. And now we're at almost 5 hours.
The flaming hatchling bounces and cheeps out of sheer excitement.
Yay! A companion!
Daddy! Daddy! Looky at me!
It's paid off to keep this Phoenix egg all this time in our backpack.
It takes you a moment to realize the egg you've been carrying has hatched at long last. The chick trills contentedly and flaps its tiny feathers in recognition of its proud parent. It seems you've got a new mouth to feed.
And hopefully this will have a better ending than Peepo.
Daddy!
Aww. Cool. Now we have a companion bird. Hey, love.
Ifan beams at you, his blood-streaked face more jubilant than you've ever seen it. He reaches out and pulls you into a bear hug, clapping you on the back.
We did it.
We did.
The odds were against us. Hell, the gods were against us. And still we did it.
Ifan grasps your face in his hands and kisses you exuberantly. Sauce crackles between you and in the air all around you. The world has changed.
That it has.
Now we'll see something. We'll see what happens when everyone can harness their own divinity.
I can't wait to see that.
Me either. I knew it. From the first time I met you, I knew you were special. And this proves it.
Aww.
With a world full of sorcerers, we should be able to make short work of the Voidwoken.
So, you want to do this, like, together?
That's an idea.
I really hate what's coming now.
He reaches out and takes your hands in his own, rough fingers caressing your wrists.
I want that more than anything.
Cause I think it's in the epilogue afterwards that he still leaves here or something. Or am I completely misremembering this? Cause it's cute. And Lavender just kisses him. There's been enough war for one day. I should have guessed that the fox would roam with the wolf. Good one. But yeah, Ifan all the way.
Ifan embraces you fiercely. As your source mingles and sparks, you feel the memories of your night together caressing your body. The world can wait, just a little longer.
Ifan is just great. Well, Fane, you look kinda toxic.
Fane is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He leafs through it slowly, muttering to himself.
The question is, which one? We found like hundreds of those.
I see. Intriguing.
He glances up at you, big, empty eye sockets taking in every detail.
Well, there you are. Another fine specimen of your kind.
Excuse me. Gives me kind of flashbacks to the first meeting, right?
A little leaner than when we first met, and a little less divine than you'd hoped, I imagine.
And Lavender smiles. You know, actually, I'm pretty happy not being divine. I've a different life to lead, he says, glancing over at Ifan.
As do I, it seems. Whatever that life might be.
Fane looks back down to the book, a bony finger running across the embossed leather cover.
It could have been different, you know? I could have saved them. I could have found a way.
Oh, Put Fane. You did the right thing, though. I'm sorry. I can't imagine what you're going through. Though I guess an elf might be probably the closest. Cause, I mean, you don't have the opportunity to bring echo people, but you experience like losing most of your kin.
No. I imagine you can't. I imagine no one can. But the cards were dealt, and my people got snake eyes. Or something. I never took the time to learn how the average Rivellonian entertained themselves.
I can show you.
Then again, you are no average Rivellonian. Not after this.
Kissing guys. And what else does Lavender do for fun? Reading books? Slaying Voidwalken? I don't know. Igniting demons?
So, what do you think you'll do now that we live in a world of minute divines?
You know, I think I'm going to carry on the adventure, of course. I'm pretty good at this.
Of that, there can be no doubt. I'm sure the bards will sing of your heroics for generations.
And I also can't really imagine Lavender settling down so soon. Maybe sometime, someday. Would you really have been happy though, Fane, if you released your people and they wrecked the whole world? I guess at the beginning, yeah, actually. But I'm very happy that he changed his views of the mortal races. Other things he does for fun, attracting succubi. Also, nice hobby. You know, I was wondering, would you also be interested in a little more adventure? Oh, that could also be a flirty line. Would you be interested in a little more adventure?
The skeleton hefts Hubert's dog-eared encyclopedia, its weight heavy in his hands.
I've been rereading this book, looking over your history once again, poring over every detail with a new perspective, and do you know what? It's shit.
Fane tosses the book over his shoulder. It flutters in the air as it sails over the ship's railing and disappears with a faint splash.
Nice.
If you have spent your life staring at a thing, you can write about it with knowledge. You can write about it with love. But it is almost impossible to write about it with wonder. You creatures have spent your lives trudging about this world, and you've grown blind to its miracles.
Oh, Fane the scholar? Or Fane the author? And Lavender looks at him quizzically. What do you mean?
Simply that to see the true beauty of a thing, sometimes you have to look at it as an outsider. As someone with fresh eyes, if you will.
Fane, I think your eyes are not the freshest.
Take otters, for example. Energetic, waterproof cats, utterly beautiful creatures. Or octopuses. Did you know they're secretly
They secretly
Octopuses? Octopi? Octopods? I shall have to look that up. Regardless, the world is filled with absolutely incredible sights. And who better to catalogue them with the awe they deserve than someone seeing them for the first time?
So, a rival encyclopedia in the making. Lavender pats him on the shoulder. Well, whatever makes you happy.
Do you know, there is the idea that nothing is ever truly created or destroyed.
An octopod sounds like a foodstuff they'd sell in Driftwood. True, definitely.
I suppose we are all Source, just in different forms. You being the cruder, less jewel-encrusted form, naturally.
Oh, thank you.
But my people were Source too, although we didn't know it at the time. And our Source helped create you. In a way, I was walking alongside the best version of them the entire time. In you, I found a home better than the one I was pining for. Thank you, Godwoken.
Oh, come on, give me a hug, Fane. Headcanon, Fane is hugged. And probably is kind of weirded out by that. Alright, I almost forgot Sebille. Let's see if she still thinks we are romancing.
So, here we are. Sorcerers like everyone else in the realm. A bit boring to be so unexceptional all of a sudden, isn't it? Then again, I suppose they can't fit all of us in Fort Joy.
You know, I really hope this will be better. In a world where everyone is frightening, no one is. Which is pretty illogical.
They haven't all met me. Ah well, some things just can't be helped.
So, what will you do now? Except being frightening.
She looks around at the blue skies and seas, smiling.
Whatever I like.
Freedom at last.
She puts a hand lightly on your shoulder and pulls you toward her.
We have shared times both good and bad. Times beautiful and ugly. I won't forget them. Not for anything. Don't be a stranger now.
No, but apparently we're correctly not romanced anymore. Yeah. I don't know. Especially for this group, I would really wish they would just continue traveling together. Cause, I don't know, they all seem to be so much adventure driven that I could imagine that. Like, in VG3 it was kind of clear that they would split up, go different ways. But still, for this too, I think we could just keep on traveling on the Lady Vengeance, exploring different parts of the world, slaying some demons, attracting some succubi, whatever. And just enjoy ourselves. So, Lady Vengeance.
It gives me almost as much pleasure to speak to you as it does to be whole again.
You know, I'm really glad to see Melody manage to piece you back together.
She is full of surprises. My wood was splintered, but my spirit intact. It was a great feat, but given her skill, not a surprising one. I feel better than new.
It's really good to see you. You've been a very dependable ally.
I will always be an ally to those that carry Source, to those whose blood is of the heroes of old, and so, as always...
I mean, no, everyone carries Source.
I am at the ready.
And Lavender nods silently. It is time to depart.
You look out to the endless beyond. The sun's light plays upon the waves, just as it always did. The sails flutter in the wind, just as they always will. And yet, something is different. You are different. And with a start, you realize where you must go next. You speak the command to the Lady Vengeance, and another chapter begins.
Hopefully, sometime in a sequel.
The world was at peace, at least for now.
I take that. That's better than anything we witnessed.
Few were as prepared for the new world as the lizardkin of the ancient empire. With power spread equally throughout the world, the advantage lay with those who knew how to steal it. And at this, the lizards excelled. The dwarven Godwoken returned to the kingdom and assumed the dead queen's throne. The new king ruled with grace and integrity.
I think these would actually really make a good
With their power
king.
returned, the elves reclaimed their lands from the death fog and began to rebuild. Soon they would split as two factions sought power. One to bring back the trees, the other to bring back the scions.
I guess I'm doing what we
The dwarven
did.
joke did the rounds. It ends with the punchline, "So Lucian dropped the death fog on them again."
Oh, yikes.
Only the elven Godwoken could bring the elves together once more. And in a dark forest on the far side of a desert, well beyond the high seas, the Black Ring came together once more.
Others just hands? Okay.
The island of Fort Joy, the old redoubt of the Source King Brachus Rex, was turned over to the people of Driftwood to use as they wished. They turned it into a holiday resort.
Nice. Actually joy at Fort Joy.
Reaper's Coast prospered. The fisheries returned, and the fertile farmlands produced the greatest harvests the surviving farmers had ever seen. Blood Moon Island became particularly fecund, its soil producing the greatest crops. A particularly crimson-fleshed orange grown on the island became a delicacy across half the world.
Would you eat something grown on demon-infested land?
The black
I
pits
wouldn't.
took fire. The oil there burns still.
Nice.
Driftwood became a centre of industry, trade and transport.
Driftwood was nice. I like the people there.
Lohar became mayor, and Brayton Barnes grew rich, until, after a public argument over import duties, Barnes died in an accident, buried under several tons of fish, and also stabbed in the back with a gutting knife.
Oh lord.
Your lizard lover from the Black Bull Tavern finally returned to the ancient Lizard Empire.
I completely
There to found
forgot.
the newest and most popular of all the houses, the House of Love.
Maybe that helps stabilizing.
Lagan left
The
his
Empire.
over-demanding wife and began a relationship with a local bard. In the spirit of loving generosity, he returned the ring to his now ex-wife. In a fit of rage, she threw it into the sea.
Did he start an affair with the Bard guy? Cute.
The nameless isle had vanished. Although only open water remained, by instinct ships would steer clear. None of the captains could articulate why.
Oh, I think cause the Seven Lords
Millennia
died,
later,
the island sank.
adventurers would come in search of the legendary divine city
never
of
made that
Arx
connection.
and the crypt of the great Lucian. None would pass the path of blood. Young Han went into the theatre and became one of the realm's most popular actors.
Oh.
Almira and Mihaili settled in an abandoned homestead. The locals liked and respected Almira. She never wanted for help, and deals always fell to her favor. Outsiders were often suspicious, but no local would speak against her.
So they liked her.
With no new divine, Malady found herself in a predicament. She had an important problem to solve, but no ally strong enough to call upon, and so her search continued. Having performed the greatest act of necromancy in history, Tarquin found the new world unchallenging. He became obsessed with rumors of another plane of existence. One day he vanished and was never seen again.
How boring. After bringing back Brachus Rex.
With the source released to the world, Ahu the wizard spent more and more time as a cat. One day he decided he would not change back.
We had that before in DOS 1. You will change back.
With Amadia silent, the priestess Gratiana left the swamps and re-entered the world. With more undead than ever before, she founded an abbey in the Dragonspine Mountains, offering them shelter from hatred and fear.
I really liked her, one of my favorite characters.
Jehan, the demon hunter, found himself at a loose end. So, he opened a museum of demonic artifacts. After it burned down, with Jehan inside, witnesses claimed that the flames were the color of blood.
Maybe opening a museum with demonic artifacts is not the best
and the elves
idea.
were equals at last. Sebille shared elven knowledge of source with the world. But some elves disagreed and plotted against her. Chief amongst her opponents was Tova, Sahila's own mother.
I mean, Sahila really did change, right?
The Beast of the Sea returned to the Dwarven Kingdom, this time as a lawmaker. After a very public blunder, Marcus eschewed political power and returned to the sea. The Beast and the Lady Vengeance sail on.
Not too surprising, I guess.
As Source flooded Rivellon, Fane set out to record everything he could of this new world. As he travelled, he kept a socket peeled for signs of the Eternals, hoping to find the wife he'd lost. He's still looking.
Weird that Dallas didn't say anything about her, right?
With a small band of elves, Ifan Ben Mesd replanted the lost elven forests. After the first fresh shoots broke the earth, he disappeared and was never seen again. Some say Afrit, his soul wolf, walks the forests still.
That's the part I was referring to, like, we Romans
Sebille wandered the world. She became a household name, famed the realm over as a traveling hero, celebrated wherever she went. Enjoying life to the fullest, she was truly and finally free.
That's a cool ending. But I really wished for more with Ifan.
Lohse returned to her music and enjoyed a storied career as Rivellon's premier musician. Dark moods would at times overtake her, and she would spend long hours walking in the wilds. She always returned with a new song. And then there was you. You returned to the world a sorcerer among many. Your future was yours to decide. Did you accept your new status with humility? Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.
And there we have it. Despite the shortness of Ifan's epilogue and the missing of any romantic connotation, I think it's a really nice ending. I really like what sharing Divinity does, and yeah. Still, up to this day, now after BT3, my favorite game. I think it has so many epic characters, such a nice and cool story. I really like the battle system, the world, and the music. Yeah. So, Friends of the Night, I want to thank you for, I wanted to say playing with me. I want to thank you for traveling through Rivellon with me, for watching, for either commenting on YouTube or chatting on Twitch. Thanks so much for that. It's so much fun to share this whole thing with you. It's awesome. I'm really happy that you're all here and enjoying the game as much as I do. And it's really amazing. So, yeah, special thanks for watching, commenting, subscribing, following, whatever, all the things. Special thanks to everyone who became a member on YouTube or subscribing on Twitch. Thanks so much for your support. And yeah, I really hope to see you again sometime. If you want to talk about the ending, feel free. We can do this on Twitch right now. Just leave some comments. Or do that on YouTube once this drops, and I will come back to each and every of the comments. If you haven't already, if you're new to my channel, either on Twitch or YouTube, it would be awesome if you'd followed me here or subscribed on YouTube to see more of my content. cause I would love to have you around some more. And yeah. Of course, this is not going to be the end of me streaming, so yeah, the next project we're going to start is Persona 5 Royal, quite a different game, but I think another game you're going to love, so hope to see you around then.